Introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks trimmed in white. He is training out of Apex Boxing in San Fernando by way of Pacoima. He weighed in 182 pounds. His record, 1 win with no losses. That win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Steven the Bank Chavez. His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing black trunks. He is training out of the Compound MMA in Oceanside by way of Escondido. He weighed in 184 pounds. Tonight, he is making his debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Rudy Night Zero. All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the middleweight division.
All right, John. We continue with our second match for the night. Very excited to have you guys joining us. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Rafa Esparza, and I'm joined by my good friend, John Evans, BJJ Breakdown himself, to watch this fight.
Yep. And right off the bat, immediately throwing some haymakers there.
Rudy trying to push him up against the cage, and now
they're just swinging wild.
Yeah.
But both of them leaving their chins straight up. Anyone could land that one punch. Very dangerous for both fighters here.
Doesn't look, though, that for a split second, Steven was starting to connect there on a few of those. Rudy definitely ate a couple. Now, maybe they're wondering if they should take it down to the ground, but I think they're in the process of figuring this out, right? They go, no, push off.
And seemingly the game plan is to stand and bang, because with double unders there, pushing your opponent off and then looking to throw punches, that is not something that a grapple-heavy fighter would typically do.
No, these are definitely gentlemen who want to finish it on the feet. So if a takedown does happen, it may be a surprise to all of us here. But in this particular case, they're clinching up, pushing back on over to the cage. I think, you're going to see Steven once again push him away to the side to try and re-chamber, and he comes out swinging, but on this one, it did look like Rudy actually connected on that one. So we're in this process here, a little bit of a back of the head on there, but both of these gentlemen are connecting.
Man.
There is the takedown, which was a little bit of a flying takedown.
Yeah, it was a good double leg. It's now caught in the half guard. Looking to get by. Yeah, you can just step right out. The legs were completely open. This underhook was able to wrestle up on, but now caught in the threat of a guillotine.
There is about 14 seconds left, so it is possible that a submission could happen here, but it will be slightly difficult to pull off. So with just a few seconds left to go, you are seeing Steven try to lock up a guillotine, and I think he may be just short on time. Coming out flexing right now, Rudy wants to let everybody know, keep yourself pumped, keep yourself excited. All right. So this is going to be interesting for this reason, John. There is not going to be any care or regard for each other's chins here. This is legitimately a stand and bang fight. This is going to be 2 gentlemen who will only go down for the takedown if it is literally the last resort. I think both of them are looking for the knockout here, John.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, Seth had double unders from the clinch on multiple occasions, pushed Rudy off of him, and chose to throw punches. So at the end, when he actually took Rudy down, it was actually a bit shocking.
But here's the best part. If he takes him down, he can then go back to hitting him. So it's a thing where you're like, hey man, it worked. You might have some great wrestling here, and if you get it, you can go right back to hitting your opponent if you get him down. Easier said than done. Nonetheless, maybe something to consider as you go into this, where somebody's going to want to stand and bang just as much as you do.
Yeah, Rudy's nice punch. Rudy's clinch work had me really worried about him getting taken down and being controlled on the bottom. Yeah. Having said that, once he was on the bottom, he was able to utilize an underhook and get back up on top. So he might not be that much of a fish out of water once he gets there.
You know, there's some good instincts here, even if it's maybe just a trip would work a little bit better than maybe having to pick somebody up entirely. Now the reverse happened. For a split second, you saw Rudy look for a guillotine, gets a nice right hand, swats it at him.
Interesting to see. Rudy had a front head with a underhook, and he was not using that to snap Seth down or hit a cement job or anything like that. So surprising to see him let that go. And I think Seth got clocked there a little bit. Maybe he got tripped, but his mouthpiece is out.
Well,
Usually,
Steven's mouthpiece definitely looks like it is starting to go out here. But you know what?
I think he's pushing that out because he's tired. He wants to take a bigger breath, but that's when bad knockouts can happen.
Yeah. And you know what? Rudy came in with aggression on that last one. He connected right out the gate. So if that's the case, you have to keep your hands a little bit more up because you are leaving yourself open. But he does get the takedown here. And that one did look like it impacted Rudy there.
I wonder if that knocked the wind out of Rudy a little bit.
I mean, it knocked the wind out of me. I'm just letting you know he is working from mount. And maybe enough to elicit kind of a stoppage here. I think the weird part is, do not let him get back up. If you want to finish this fight, you need to stay on top, and this is going to allow him to come up for a sweep. Yep. Yes. Now the question is Rudy going to be able to take advantage of this? You're seeing the remnants of Steven trying to just hold on for dear life to block any of the punches and to make sure he's not taking any damage from underneath.
Yeah, and there again, like Rudy seemingly not being that savvy on the ground, but once he gets put on his back, utilizing that underhook once again to get on top. So, I mean, that's at least that's one tool that he's consistently using to go from the bottom to the top, and now flexing on Seth at the end of round
John,
2.
don't you ever get in the way of him flexing on them, okay?
It's true. I mean, the ref should mind his manners here.
All you've ever told me in life is, Raph, don't flex on him. I'm just telling you, it's been a non-winning strategy thus far in, John.
It's true. It's true. Nothing can stop you
I
with
take
that.
all of my cues in life from flex on them hoes. So I just want to make sure that you guys do the same. Don't let that brighten your shine or dim it. So,
man.
John, on this particular fight, okay, you're looking over, you know that Steven is starting to get a little bit gassed. You know that Rudy starting to feel a little bit more confident in his ability to stand up with him. Now, the big difference here is when we've seen Steven under pressure and he does get the takedown, he can make it happen. We said that at the end of that last round, which is you have good instincts for that. Maybe a trip here, maybe just forcing him against the cage to work your way on building him back down. But here, if you're Rudy, I think you know you have to keep it standing up and make sure your wrestling defense is maybe just a little bit more on point. And nope, back on the flexing. We're right there. Okay.
Yeah, nope. I mean, the flexing is maybe not the side of the most sophisticated fighter, but as somebody working his corner, you like to see the confidence, right? Oh, and Seth immediately eats a left straight, a nice jab right there, landing square on the chin, and a right too. And these are some big shots. Seth is in trouble here. Seth should look to change levels and get down, but a great hook.
He just responded in turn.
And that really hurt Rudy.
Steven was able to put a hurt on Rudy, and he looks like he is.
That could have been an orbital fracture.
I think so.
Sometimes when you get hit really bad in the eye, too, it can feel like an eye poke. It looks like there has been a cut. Like, it was just a really good step-in jab, or step-in hook that he landed there. So that just cut him wide open.
I mean, Chris Lieben right on top of it right there, and for good reason. I mean, Chris Lieben's been in wars. I think you kind of see it when it happens, and you want to make sure that you're protecting these fighters, especially on the amateur level. But let's just talk about this. If there was ever a moment that you thought there was going to be a call the ambulance, but not for me, that was for Steven Chavez. Steven Chavez was taking some big shots, looked exhausted in that last round, and was able to turn it around here. Now, here is where I think the difference maker is. I think what ended up happening was he took those shots. Maybe he didn't have his hands up to block some of them. But when he found his angle, he was able to connect and recognize, stay on Rudy and put the pressure on to finish the fight. And that is how you see it. We're going to actually take a look at that again right now. So here we go. John, walk us through this.
Yeah, here's this wild flurry. That right hand landed from Rudy. So Rudy was like taking the brunt of a lot of those standing flurries. And here's that great double leg, and you can tell that hurts.
That was a spine buster if I've seen one.
Yeah. Seth hurt Rudy there with that double leg.
So watch.
And there's a good.
He gets caught.
Yep, left straight.
Now you're going to find him respond here. He comes back in.
Yeah, that right was really
Take
on
shots.
the button from Rudy to Seth.
Finds
And
a home.
that was
the response. That
Yep.
was the final blow that ended up with just one more for good measure. And Chris Lieben says, "We're done here, gents."
Yeah, when you take a hook like that, yeah, right in the eye, and your fighter reacts like this, I mean, this is amateur MMA. This is not this is not like a world title professional championship fight on the line here. So you look at that and you have potentially an orbital fracture or something like this. It's just, this is amateur. You don't want to take any chances, right? Like, these guys have a
Ladies
big
and gentlemen,
career.
at 21 seconds of round number 3, referee in charge, Chris the Crippler Lieben, stops the contest due to strikes. Our winner, by way of TKO, the blue corner, Steven the Bank Chavez!
That's right, fight fans. Make some noise for Steven Chavez. Chavez. 2 warriors, back and forth, slugging it out, takedowns. How do you feel, brother?
Amazing, man. Shit. Fucking tired, but damn.
And who do you train with?
Me, myself, and God.
Awesome. And who's your sponsors?
Me, myself, and God.
That's what I'm talking about, fight fans. Now, who's next?
Me, myself, and God.
All right, fight fans, make some noise for Steven the Bank Chavez!
Well, the good news is it does not look like Steven Chavez will be fighting our announcer, Joey the Bull, so that's good. I'm hoping that they're going to go have some fun outside of that, but I do want to tell you.